Which teams will emerge with a winning record this year? And which teams are destined to be left in the dust? Today, we peer into the future to answer those very questions.
And then I have you beating the Arizona Cardinals. And then I have you losing the Philadelphia Eagles. I got you 10-7.
Preseason is officially over. Next up, it's what we've all been waiting for, folks. The regular season, when the game actually means something. With week 1 nearing, it's time to reveal our final win-loss predictions for all 32 NFL teams in 2021. Arizona Cardinals, 8-9. If the Cardinals weren't in the league's toughest division, we'd happily give them a winning record. GM Steve Keim did a wonderful job upgrading the defense, but how can Arizona go above .500 when they have 3 potential Super Bowl contenders in their division? The Atlanta Falcons, 8-9. The Falcons were better than what their 4-12 record indicated last year. The New Orleans Saints are no longer the division bullies without Drew Brees, so Atlanta can expect 1 or 2 extra wins there. Atlanta also has the 3rd easiest strength of schedule for 2021. Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, Mike Davis, new head coach Arthur Smith, and rookie tight end Kyle Pitts will keep this team in the playoff race, at least for a little bit. Baltimore Ravens, 11-6. Even though they won 11 games and reached the divisional round, the Ravens kinda underachieved a year ago. Sammy Watkins and rookie Rashad Bateman can only improve a sluggish passing game. The defense will do its usual thing, and the inevitable demise of the Pittsburgh Steelers will open the door for Baltimore to reclaim the division. Buffalo Bills, 12-5. The AFC East figures to be a lot tougher in 2021, but the Bills remain the class of the division. Josh Allen is the 2nd best quarterback in the AFC. If the pass rush and secondary can regain their form from 2019, Buffalo might just unseat you-know-who in the AFC. Carolina Panthers, 5-12. We'll say this, if Sam Darnold breaks out with his new team, Carolina will be an interesting Super Bowl sleeper. That's one big if, though. There's a lot of young talent to love on both sides of the ball, and the offense will be more explosive with a healthy Christian McCaffrey and rookie wideout Terrace Marshall Jr. But this is still a rebuilding year, and Carolina's defense isn't exactly scaring the 3 potent offenses that reside in their division. Chicago Bears, 7-10. Too bad. If Aaron Rodgers had left and if the Bears would just commit to Justin Fields, Chicago could have made a serious run at the NFC North crown. But nope, A-Rod returns and the Bears are stubbornly rolling with Andy Dalton, at least for now. Chicago fluked their way into the postseason last year despite inconsistent quarterback play. Good luck doing that again. Cincinnati Bengals, 6-11. The Bengals added Jamar Chase, sure, but that offensive line is still a disaster, and we fear for Joe Burrow's safety. It doesn't help that the Bengals play in a division that only features 3 teams who all won double-digit games and earned playoff berths in 2021. Even if the O-line magically holds up, the Bengals have question marks all over the defense. They won't be an easy opponent by any means, but this team still isn't ready to make some serious noise in a crowded AFC. Cleveland Browns, 11-6. The Browns ended an 18-year playoff drought and picked up their first playoff win since 1994. That was remarkable progress and all, but now it's time for the Browns to take it one step further. Again, the AFC North is far from a friendly division. Cleveland will have tough competition with Baltimore and Pittsburgh, but why shouldn't they at least match last year's win total following all those upgrades on defense? Dallas Cowboys, 10-7. The Cowboys are the heavy favorites to win the NFC East, and that's only because Dak Prescott is back and finally healthy. Are the Cowboys a legitimate Super Bowl contender? Probably not. Though the talent is there, and playing in football's worst division is certainly a nice luxury to have. It might just take 8 wins to take the NFC least, but we expect even more than that from these Cowboys. Denver Broncos, 8-9. The Broncos are also a sleeper team. Their secondary might be the deepest in the league, and the return of Von Miller promises to add another jolt to this defense. Starting quarterback Teddy Bridgewater isn't lacking in weapons on the offensive side of the ball either. Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, and Melvin Gordon are great pieces to work with. Perhaps the greatest problem facing these Broncos is they reside in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. So, we aren't quite ready to put them down for a winning season. Detroit Lions, 3-14. We know anything can happen in the NFL, but it would honestly be shocking if the Lions didn't finish as the NFC's worst team. Matthew Stafford was carrying this team on his back for years, but he's now in La La Land. Jared Goff is the new QB in town, and he's working with a brand new front office and coaching staff that has provided him with no true playmaking wide receivers. The Lions won't admit it, but this year is basically a wash. Their focus is on next year's draft and the intriguing quarterback class it's expected to produce. Green Bay Packers, 12-5. Aaron Rodgers is returning after all, so go ahead and pencil in the Pack as the NFC North champs. They'll be in the running for the Super Bowl yet again. Will this be the last dance for Rodgers and Davante Adams in Green Bay? It'll be a fun storyline to follow throughout the year. Houston Texans, 3-14. Woof, this team only won 4 games despite an insanely good season from Deshaun Watson. So how will they fare without him? Or JJ Watt? Or Will Fuller? If Houston didn't have the Jets in 2 games against the Jaguars on their schedule, 0-17 would be a very real possibility. Hey, it can still happen, but they'll probably squeak out at least a few wins against some of the league's other basement dwellers. Indianapolis Colts, 10-7. This prediction is going off the assumption that Carson Wentz will not miss significant time. If he does, then 6 to 8 wins will be a more realistic ceiling. But it looks like he'll be back to start the season, in which case, this ultra-talented Colts team is more than capable of making a deep run in January. Put him down for another winning season. Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-13. The Jaguars looked awful in their first 2 preseason games, but Trevor Lawrence appeared to finally find his footing in this team's 3rd exhibition contest, completing 11 of 12 passes for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lawrence has the pieces around him to put together an impressive rookie campaign, but it's hard to see the first overall pick carrying this team to any more than 4 wins this season. Kansas City Chiefs, 13-4. The Chiefs rebuilt their offensive line following an embarrassing performance in Super Bowl 55. Now, there are 0 legitimate weaknesses on this team. And, oh yeah, they just so happen to have the league's best quarterback. The schedule is tough, but the Chiefs are the class of the NFL for a reason. It wouldn't even shock us if they made a push for 17-0. Las Vegas Raiders, 6-11. John Gruden and Mike Mayock inexplicably broke up one of the league's best offensive lines. The secondary is still a mess, and despite Yannick Ngakwe's talents, his arrival alone won't fix this wretched defense. Meanwhile, all the Raiders' divisional opponents made significant moves to upgrade their rosters. It's hard not to rank them as the worst team in the AFC West at the moment. Los Angeles Chargers, 10-7. The 2020 Chargers set an unofficial franchise single-season record for most classic Chargers losses. There's no way they can blow so many games in such ridiculous fashions again. At least not in 1 year. A healthier defense, a revamped O-line, a rising superstar in Justin Herbert, and the arrival of defensive guru Brandon Staley should add up to a winning season. Los Angeles Rams, 12-5. If you ask us, the Rams, not the Packers or Bucks, are the team to beat in the NFC. This team is only returning with the league's best defense and with an upgrade at quarterback following the addition of Matthew Stafford. The former Lions should be a great fit in Sean McVay's high-powered offense, and Sony Michel's arrival shores up the concerns at running back following Cam Akers' injury. Yeah, the Chargers, Lakers, Clippers, and Dodgers are all great, but the Rams could be on the verge of becoming the best sports team in LA right now. Miami Dolphins, 10-7. If Tua Tagovailoa bounces back from an inconsistent rookie season, the Dolphins will be in the running for a playoff spot. The additions of Will Fuller and rookie Jalen Waddle give the sophomore QB more than enough weaponry. On the other side of the ball, Xavier Howard and Byron Jones lead one of the league's top secondaries. Although that pass rush leaves a lot to be desired. Playing in the difficult AFC East isn't easy, but we have little reason to believe Miami won't at least put together a winning record. Minnesota Vikings, 9-8. This team underachieved greatly last year, despite strong seasons from Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, and rookie wideout Justin Jefferson. With Danielle Hunter, Eric Kendricks, and Anthony Barr healthy, the defense should return to elite status. Patrick Peterson, an old friend, Everson Griffin, will help too. Add it all up, and many should be back in the playoff hunt following a disappointing 2020. New England Patriots, 10-7. The Patriots won 7 games last year despite a brutally unforgiving schedule, the departure of Tom Brady, a league-high 8 opt-outs, and injuries to core players. In other words, improvement is inevitable. Throw in their revamped defense and rebuilt pass-catching group, and it won't be long before Bill Belichick and the Pats are putting the entire league back on notice. New Orleans Saints 10-7. Jameis Winston's incredible preseason play, coupled with the rise of Marquez Callaway, suddenly has us confident that these Saints will do better than expected without Drew Brees. You can argue that a 27-year-old Winston is actually an upgrade over a banged-up and past his prime Brees. If this turns out to be the case, we caution you not to sleep on this team. New York Giants 7-10. If Daniel Jones breaks out, and that is a big if, we'll look pretty silly here. But it's still hard to trust a guy with as much consistency, accuracy, and turnover issues as the 2019 first-round pick. We're just not sure that the Giants' feisty defense and Saquon Barkley will be enough to keep this team in NFC East contention. New York Jets 5-12. It's a reset in the Big Apple. Again. Only this time, the optimism is legit, thanks to a qualified head coach in Robert Saleh and a new QB in Zach Wilson. Joe Douglas did a wonderful job in building up the supporting cast around the number 2 overall pick, something Sam Darnold never got to experience there. The Jets are set up to win some games this season, but not too many. We still expect them to finish at the bottom of the AFC East. Philadelphia Eagles 4-13. It is a massive rebuilding period in the city of brotherly love. The Eagles only won 4 games a year ago, and there's not much reason to believe that they'll improve. Even if Jalen Hurts is the real deal, good luck with that O-line, and with Devonta Smith as your lone reliable receiver. Also, that secondary? Big yikes! Pittsburgh Steelers 9-8. Well, Ben Roethlisberger has looked sharp in preseason. Najee Harris will be a major boost to this offense, and the new-look O-line has surpassed expectations thus far. So, maybe the Steelers won't experience their first losing season since 2003. Or maybe we're giving them too much credit following a few preseason games. This team is easily one of the toughest to predict entering Week 1. San Francisco 49ers 10-7. Better health alone will make the 49ers a contender again. Doesn't matter if Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo starts. This roster is way too stacked on both sides of the ball. Don't expect another down year from the Niners in 2021. Seattle Seahawks 10-7. We can't take the Seahawks seriously as a playoff contender with that defense and O-line. But as we said a million times, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett are good enough on their own to get this team to the playoffs. And hey, playoffs are better than no playoffs, right, Jim Mora? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 11-6. They might be the defending champs, and they might be bringing back all 22 starters, but there's a case to be made that the Bucs overachieved a season ago. Will their aging front seven be that good again? Will all those starters have career years again? Can they really get by with a suspect secondary? There are a lot of contenders in the NFC. Let's put them down for the division crown, but not a top 2 seed in the conference. Tennessee Titans 10-7. Make no mistake, the Titans have one of the worst defenses in the league, and their 2021 opponents combined for a .507 winning percentage last year. But when you have Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown leading your offensive arsenal, you'll be just fine. This team will score more than enough points to lock up their 3rd straight playoff appearance. Washington Football Team 8-9. Ron Rivera has already changed the entire dynamic of this franchise. Admirable stuff, and that front seven is going to be must-watch TV for years to come. The only problem? Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kyle Allen, and Taylor Heineke aren't quarterbacks who are capable of taking their team very far. Not sure why Washington didn't make a move for a real starting caliber QB. But who do you think will finish with the NFL's best and worst record in 2021? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.